Hello, my gentlemen and my gentle ladies. It's Jenny, obviously. I recently finished up to the credits of Crypt Custodian in a gameplay series that I did on my channel. It's a game about a cat who has died and gone to the afterlife, and he has been sentenced then to clean for the rest of his life. For being a bad cat, so-and-so. This game was developed by Kyle Thompson and published in August of 2024. I'm here to discuss whether or not you would like this game. I'm going to be going through the different mechanics and gameplay and giving my honest review of it. If this helps you decide whether or not to play and you enjoy these videos, please do leave a like and maybe even subscribe. This will be a spoiler-free purely gameplay video. If you'd like, I'm also putting out a spoiler review of the full story itself. Plus, you can just go watch my videos of me playing it, and that will give you, the story. So feel free to check that out as well. Now, I played Crypt Custodian on Xbox Game Pass using my PC, but also using an Xbox controller. Let's start from visuals, because visuals are a really big deal to me. Crypt Custodian is a beautiful game. It tracks the main character, Ludo, well with screen following. The colors for each zone are bold enough to be distinct, but not so much that it hurts your eyes to look at, and it creates a very good visual atmosphere. The art style is different, but not in a bad way. As someone who highly prioritizes art style within games and shows, I found that it was pleasing to the eye. I'm one who would completely drop a show, within the first episode, because the art style just does not suit my fancy. This doesn't particularly impact how many shows I watch, because I have a varied array of things I like with art style, but this gives a general idea as a picky person's visual acceptance of this game. As for music, the music is basic, but it flows together well for each zone that you will enter. There's a lot of zones. Right now, behind me, you will hear The Weeping Waste. It's one of the zones, and this is its soundtrack. Each zone has its own music. They are unique enough, but similar also enough so when you teleport by using one of the shrines, it doesn't shock you into a new zone. It blends in very well because of how similar they are. These zone shifts will not cause a drastic mood shift and throw you off. It makes for a very peaceful and alluring game to play that you can lose yourself in because of the flow of the music, and the flow of the game kind of just keeps your attention and guides you along. Now, let us talk about the map of Crypt Custodian. The map is big, really big. You discover different zones as time goes on, and you need to be okay with not completing each zone fully as you get to them. This was hard for me. There are multiple times where you have to return to a previous area because a skill or perk that you picked up in a new zone will access a previously unavailable area in an older zone. There was a lot of jumping around. Luckily, these shrines, they let you teleport through them, heal at, equip new skills, and even save your game, but you have to discover each shrine as time goes on. Again, this was a bit of a challenge for me, as I'm a gamer who likes to finish what they started as it comes. So in this regard, I wanted to finish each zone before starting a new one, and that simply does not happen. Most zones have different mechanics that you will have to learn. The most unique one I found was the neon crest, having to dash jump to either make things accessible or make enemies able to or not able to attack you. Each Crypt Custodian zone will have its own boss and set of monsters or mobs. The mobs themselves can feel pretty repetitive, I'd say, but when fighting each boss, the moves of every mob in that zone can be used by the boss, making it feel unique and difficult in its own way to fight the boss. I found the boss battles themselves decently difficult, but simply enough to be an enjoyable experience of learning attack patterns rather than a heart-pounding, this is it experience. Each zone also has discoverable characters, skills, and music discs. I didn't find much use for the music disc. I collected them, and that's about all I did with them. You will find images of the characters that you will meet, and that will give you a little bit of their past and a little bit of their story about how they ended up in the afterlife. I find it a pleasantly nice touch. Not too much lore in that area, though. Each zone also has puzzles, some of which I haven't even figured out yet in the full completion story. But I'm also notoriously bad at puzzles, which sucks because I love puzzle games. A lot of these puzzles will unlock upgrade points, which you will need to collect in order to equip more skills that you will also find through exploring various zones and completing various puzzles. Upgrade points are super important. Speaking of the skills, in Crypt Custodian we don't really have a skill tree, but what we do have is a skill page. Using our upgrade points we can equip multiple different skills, each giving a useful attribute or a game mechanic. Now these skills are different from special moves and movement mechanics. Movement mechanics are quote-unquote skills that you discover to help you progress through the gameplay. Special moves you only get one of, but you discover more along the way that you can choose from. I preferred the first one that you started out with as it was the easiest and to me, most practical for my combat style. Skills then are more so passive. Ones like, when you do this mechanic, this attack will also happen from you. Or like your attack speed will increase. But I think they are very evenly implemented and evenly done, and they have a purpose beyond the skill in the post game. So do be aware of that. We are going to discuss a little bit on how the lore feels and plays out, seeing as I'm not fully going into a spoiler story from a gameplay perspective. I think it could have been done with some more depth. I feel like there could have been some more character progression, not just for Pluto, our main hero, also for the various characters and friends that you will meet along the way. You do get to find pictures revealing snippets of the characters' lives, and that is nice, and in the end credits it reveals a bit more about them too and how they end up at the end of the story. There is a storyline, a main storyline to follow of crashing the castle that banished them all to clean, but the progression of the story seems kind of like done on a whim. It was a lot of random main villain appearances and, oh yeah, sure, we can do that, as though it wasn't a main plot point to what they were doing. I felt as though simply the lore could have used some depth. What you do with the characters also does not really impact how the story fully plays out. So that's just a little bit about the lore. Now, Crypt Custodian. Is it for you? If you're big on map exploration and mini character exploration, then yeah, I'd say so. There was so much to do and it was so easy to get lost in. As for me, I would have liked a bit more story and lore implemented. Overall though, I would say it was a really great game to play. You can tell by the time and all the detail about how much work went into it. If you're wanting to play Crypt Custodian, you can find it on Xbox Game Pass, but you can also play it on just about any platform as I played it on my PC. It does recommend controller use, and I agree with that. Having started trying to use my keyboard and mouse, that sucked, and I quickly switched over, I think within like the first 5 minutes, to using my Xbox controller. It is definitely a more controller proficient game. So that is a bit about Crypt Custodian. I hope this was helpful, and if it was, again, please leave a like and or a subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out my gameplay videos of this game. And if you'd like to hear a bit more about the story of Crypt Custodian, don't forget to go watch that video overview as well. My gentlemen, my gentle ladies, you all have a very blessed day.